Narcissism is often mistaken for vanity, a love of mirrors, a hunger for praise, a person who never stops speaking of themselves. But this is only the surface. Beneath the confidence, beneath the brilliance, lies something quieter, something aching, a fractured self, built not from too much love, but from the absence of it. In the eyes of clinical psychology, particularly through the lens of psychoanalytic thought, narcissism is not about grandiosity, it is about survival. The performance of confidence is not a celebration. It's camouflage, a mask shaped around a wound so old, so quiet, it forgot how to scream. What we call narcissism is often a desperate effort to protect something fragile, a self left, unfinished, in childhood. At its root, narcissistic injury grows from emotional abandonment, not always through neglect, but often through something more invisible, invalidation. The child learns quickly. Joy must impress to be noticed. Vulnerability earns withdrawal. Sadness is punished with silence. And so the child builds a version of themselves that feels safer, smoother, sharper, a self sculpted not from truth, but from necessity. That self becomes untouchable, but beneath it, a quiet voice lingers, a voice that never learned to say, "I am enough." Heinz Kohut called this the failure of mirroring, when caregivers do not reflect a child's inner world in ways that affirm it. Without mirroring, the sense of self fragments. What remains is a shell, a persona that survives only when reflected back by others. Praise, applause, recognition, these become lifelines, because, without them, the mask begins to crack. And when it does, the injury is not emotional, it's existential. What's threatened isn't ego, it's identity. This is the narcissistic injury, not a bruise, but a psychic fracture, a split in the mirror, a moment when the void stares back. Rejection, even minor, can feel like erasure. The response may look cold, angry, manipulative, but beneath it is something more primitive: fear. Not the fear of losing affection, but the fear of being seen. Otto Kernberg described the narcissistic self as split-swinging between an idealized version of the self and a devalued one. There is no middle ground, only extremes. And so they chase perfection, or collapse into worthlessness. In relationships, this becomes especially painful. At first, the narcissistic individual may idealize their partner not as a person, but as a mirror. But mirrors tire. Partners assert independence, offer feedback, set boundaries, and when they do, the illusion breaks. The mask slips, and the narcissist does not feel disappointment, they feel exposed. This is not cruelty. It is pain, aged and rehearsed. Many who carry narcissistic wounds live with shame too deep to name. Their outward power is performance. Inside, they feel hollow, separated from their own grief, strangers to their own vulnerability. And so they keep performing, smiling, dismissing, controlling. Anything but facing the child still curled up behind the armor. But sometimes the mask breaks, not in rage, but in retreat. Collapse, numbness, addiction, depression, a slow vanishing, a silence so deep, no one even notices they've disappeared. But not all is lost. Therapies like psychodynamic work or schema-focused care don't tear down defenses. They soften them, not with force, with safety, with quiet, with time. They offer what was missing all along: consistent reflection, unconditional presence, and room to exist without performance. Slowly, the person begins to gather the fragments, not to become flawless, but to become whole. Healing does not ask for perfection, it asks for honesty and patience. To understand narcissistic injury is to look past the performance, past the brilliance and silence, and ask, what is this person protecting? What would happen if we stopped demanding perfection and started witnessing pain? In a world that worships mirrors and punishes vulnerability, perhaps the greatest kindness is not to fix the mask, but to sit beside the one who wears it. Not to pull it off, just to stay. Because, in the end, narcissists are not chasing admiration. They are searching for home. And maybe that home has no mirrors. Only quiet. Only warmth. Only someone who sees what's underneath and does not look away.